Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my May wrap up. I read 14 books in May and I'm going to do like a little blurb and then what I rated it, what my thoughts were kind of thing. It'll be spoiler free as always. And just an FYI, I've been a little MIA on this channel this month. I was just in a slump when it came to filming. Even on my TikTok and Instagram I hadn't been posting. But I do plan on coming back in June and being better than ever. I do have a reading vlog planned for this weekend that'll be going up soon. And then obviously my TBR for June will be doing as well. But without further ado, first up we have Things We Never Got Over. This was a 5-star read for me. I'm kind of late on the Lucy Score game, so I'm sure plenty of you know what this book is about. But it's a small town romance. Essentially this girl, she's running away from her life. She left her like ex-fiance at the altar, and then she's going to like help her estranged like sister. Stuff goes down, and then the grumpy guy of the town, who I think he owns the bar. I read this at the beginning of the month, so I don't really remember much, but it's really good. Small town romance, grumpy sunshine, all that good stuff. 5 stars. Next, I have Air Awakens. This was the other 5-star read that I had this month. This one was fantastic. This is a romance fantasy about this girl who she awakens some sort of powers, and the prince that's like this like evil nasty prince helps her, and she like slowly falls for him. I think, I don't know, it's like slow burn, and there's not a lot of romance in this one, so if like you only read romance fantasy, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's really good. There's a really bad explanation, whatever. Next up, I have Charm. This is book 5 of this series, so I don't want to go into too much detail about it, but this does follow Grace and it does follow Hudson. I gave this a 3.75 star. Out of the whole series, this one was good, but it wasn't great. But I would still like read it, recommend it. The whole series I love as a whole. Next is another one I'm late to the game with. I read Addicted to You. So this book is about 2 people who are addicted to certain things. So she has a sex addiction and he has a alcohol addiction, and they kind of feed off each other's addictions. But it's fake dating trope, a lot of trauma. I don't know. This is a lot to unpack. I'm sure you guys know all about it, so I won't go into much detail, but I did rate this 4 stars, and I do plan on reading Ricochet next month, hopefully. Up, I read Cursed Fates, which is Zodiac Academy book 5. I absolutely cannot go into any detail about this book because it is all spoilers. So, but I did rate this one 4.5 stars. It didn't get 5 stars because the trauma that it gave me was probably unhealable. Next, I read The Soulmate by Sally Hempworth. I was super excited going into this book, and I only rated it 3.5 stars. This one I had some problems with, not in a sense of like the writing or anything, but the book itself just fell flat for me. Like the story is about this like couple who live on this cliff, and they're by like a common like unaliving spot, and the male main character talks people down from this cliff. Well, this one girl comes and she jumps, or he pushes her. You don't really know. You follow the story. But there was some twist that like kind of shocked me, and then some twists that like didn't shock me at all. And then there was some twist where I'm like, why is this even in the book? Like, is it relevant? Not really. So that's why it was like kind of fell flat for me. But next up, I read Dark Fae. This is book 1 of the Ruthless Boys series. This is you in the reading order of Zodiac Academy. You read this after book 5, which is why I'm doing it in this order. This one was really good. The writing kind of threw me off a little bit. It wasn't my favorite. I rated it 3.75. I'm excited to jump into this part of the world, and I'm excited to jump into these characters. I really love the characters so far, so super excited to get into this one. Next up, I have Rookie Mistake, which I fully annotated and read. So this is a male on male romance, hockey romance I should say, and I love this one. I rated it 4 stars. This is my first book by Anna Szabo, I think her name is, and I definitely will be getting book 2. It's very spicy if that is your thing, but the like mental health representation was really well written in my opinion. I just really enjoyed both their stories and their kind of relationship. Next up, I have Wildlands. I rated this 3.75. This is another one I can't really go into, but this is book 2 of the Savage Land series. So you're still following Brexley. I think you follow Brexley throughout the entire story. But it's a fantasy romance. It is spicy, just an FYI. I really enjoyed this one. I think I bought the 3rd one already, but I'm not quite sure on that. Should probably know that, but it's okay. Next up was one of the most disappointing reads of the month for me, and it really makes me sad, and it really pains me to say that, but I read King of Pride. I rated this one 3 stars. If you follow me on like TikTok or Instagram, you know I love Ana Huang. Her writing, her characters, everything. Like, I love it all. And like, I loved King of Wrath, which is book 1 of the series. This is book 2. You follow Isabella and Kai. And I just did not feel like chemistry. I felt like Kai didn't have like real depth to his character. And like, I love depth when it comes to like male characters. So it really upset me, but we'll be buying book 3 and I'm super excited for it. So, okay. Next up, I read Savage Lover by Sophie Lark. This one is book 3 of the Brutal Birthright series. And I rated this one a 4.5 star. I think this one might be my favorite of the series so far. This one or the first one, Brutal Prince. I just love that one so much. So I'm not entirely sure. But this one is a like car mechanic kind of theme. So like they're both the characters are into like cars and they bond over it. There is some triggers. I would look up trigger warnings before reading this book because it does deal with some heavy topics. It is a mafia romance as well. So definitely looked into those, but I loved it. Next up, I read Forever After All, and this one I also annotated for my friend Kristen. And this one I rated 3.5 stars. This one was my first book by Katharina Mara, I think is how you say her name. And I loved it, I liked it, but didn't love it. This one kind of fell flat for me in a sense of the ending. Like, there was some moments in this where I was like, oh my gosh, this like almost is giving me like a 5-star feeling. And then there was some moments where it just ruined it completely. And I was like, this is just boring. Like, I can't get through this book. You know, I finished it though. And as you can tell, I did like it enough to tab it as much as I did. So this is one that I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but I would, if that makes sense. Next, I have Don't Let Me Go. This is a hockey sports romance. It's book 2 of the series. It does have the virgin trope, which I know some people really don't like. But essentially, it's a brother's best friend romance and childhood lovers as well. I rated this one 4 stars. Last but not least for the month, I read Poker Face by Maggie Gates. This is the first one of the, I think it's Beaufort Poker Club series. And this one follows a baker. She is a baker. She's like head baker. She's going to do this competition. And the guy who's a judge on the competition, who's like a billionaire, he runs and holds all these restaurants. He is going to be her judge, and they meet before the competition and get to know each other and go on a date. And then he shows up as her judge, and she's like, oh no, who the heck are you? Why are you here? Type of thing. So it follows them. It's second chance, I guess. I wouldn't consider it, but it is. And then it's also small town. And the small town found family in this is absolutely amazing. I'm rating this 4 stars for the month. So I would definitely recommend this series. I mean, I only am on book 1, but definitely recommend. Well, that was my wrap up for May. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for being here, supporting me, all of that good stuff. If you haven't already, make sure you like this video, subscribe if you want to see more, turn the notifications on if you want to know. But yeah, other than that, thank you so much.